war. Everyone's familiar with it. War has been part of human history since the beginning of civilization. Humans need resources to survive, and those who were born in a less abundant geographic location had to use force to take from those who were more fortunate. The scale of war increased as humans' ever-increasing ambitions grew, and it later manifested into World War II, which is still to this day the deadliest war fought on Earth. This is an image taken in 1945 of the sky of Hiroshima after the nuclear bomb, codenamed Little Boy, was dropped. Before this photo was taken, only a select few knew about the true potential of a nuclear bomb. However, this image caused an uproar as it made headlines all over the world. A weapon that can level an entire city had not only been created, but had been used. Ironically, the knowledge of this weapon and the knowledge of mutually assured destruction is what brought the world into its current era of uneasy peace. The fact that the bomb caused the entire centuries and centuries long of conflict to come to a sudden end is the power of the photograph. This is the photo of Fanti Kim Phuc, also known as Napalm Girl. The photograph has a lot of significance. But for a bit of context, the town of Trang had seen a lot of skirmishes nearby, and the villagers, and as the Southern Vietnamese army advanced to secure the town, the villagers who were previously sheltered in the town hall came out and sought refuge. However, a South Vietnamese pilot mistook the villagers as advancing North Vietnamese troops and dropped napalm, which resulted in Nick Ut taking this photo on June 8th, 1972. Few photos have had an effect as much as this one. When this image was published in the New York Times, the anti-war movement rallied around it. This photo not only told a story, but it also asked an important question. Why are we doing this? Who is it for? And is it really necessary? And furthermore, it also represented the destructiveness that war can inflict on people. To quote Ut, the photo was as authentic as the Vietnam War itself. The horror of the Vietnam War, recorded by me, did not have to be fixed. And it is said that this photo was what sparked the nationwide anti-war movement to draw troops out of Vietnam. And that terrified little girl, who is still alive today, has become an eloquent testimony to the photo. This photo not only changed the course of history, it not only changed the outcome of war, but also changed the perception of war in the US. A photo not only has the power to change history, but also change people's minds. However, a photograph's effect might not be what one might expect. This is the image known as The Vulture and the Little Girl. It won a Pulitzer Prize in 1993 and was taken by Carter. Many believe that this is the photo that currently established the external perception of the poverty on the continent. After World War II, many conflicts arose throughout the continent. But foreign media failed to adequately cover these events, and favored the rising tensions in the Western nations. While various UN nations did try to send foreign aid, due to the lack of awareness, these initiatives were largely underfunded and thus did little to alleviate the populace's starvation. However, in 1993, this photo was able to raise awareness of the poverty in Sudan. Not only did it increase foreign aid, it also helped raise millions of dollars. That is the power of the photograph. However, photographers frame photos to tell a story, and they can manipulate the story as they see fit. This gives the photographers the power to change the story of the photo is trying to tell. For instance, in this photo, the girl was not abandoned as many was led to believe, but her mother had left her with the other adults to get food at the foreign aid station. And the vulture just happened to be sitting behind the girl and was later chased away after Carter took the photo. The framing of this photo, however, does not tell the full story behind this image. It only tells the compelling part that death was near and aid was needed. Carter was also noted to have said that the African suffering was a child, and he saw his face on the vulture. But however, controversies arose as the popularity of the picture led many to believe that all of Africa was suffering from poverty as well. While many was led to believe this is not true. We should be able to say that this is Africa, and this as well. The continent's culture is as diverse as any other continent, and yet photos such as the little girl and the vulture leave room for misinterpretation when taken out of context. And a mere photograph can have unforeseen consequences far and wide, as it had for the continent of Africa. So when a photographer is given that much power to shape our beliefs, we should stop, take a step back, and look at the context before we judge the image. However, photographs not only have the power to shape our beliefs, but also to rally us for a cause. This is the famous Tankman photo, a photo that the Chinese government claims to have never existed. The infamous protest was a student-led democratic protest where protesters demanded for a democratic government to be formed. However, the Chinese government, afraid of losing political power over the country, decided to deploy the military and suppress the protests. This image of a lone protester stopping a column of tanks coming out of Tiananmen Square is seen as the defining photo of the movement. And it was also able to gain international attention as various countries, including the Soviet Union, was condemned the actions of the Chinese government. And while the protests to reform in China had failed, it inspired many similar protests in other parts of the world. Other protests, such as the fall of the Berlin Wall, which later led to the end of the Cold War, and protests in various Eastern European countries, which led to the dissolvement of the Soviet Union. And this photo still holds its power today, as it acts as a symbol of dissent in areas such as Hong Kong, where protests are still prevalent. This is the power of the image. It holds the power to reestablish two major nations and still act as a symbol of protest 30 years after it has been taken. And I'm not saying that you should go out and risk your lives taking a photo. However, I'm saying that you have the power to do so. With the advancements of technology and social media, we now have the power to capture a single moment and store it. And this power allows us to stand up against powerful forces, to change the status quo, to change history. I have a smartphone here, and by a show of hands, can I see how many people own one of these as well? That seems to be the majority of you. And as modern technology has advanced so far, to the point where a high-definition camera can fit inside your pocket and be portable, is also showing that everyone here now has the potential to change history as well. And this is my way of changing history. Change history, change the future. A single press of a button. Thank you.